Let's take a look at creating a probability distribution and frequencies. The following is created after students in college were how often do you wear a seatbelt when riding in a car by someone else? Somebody tallied up the result, rarely, sometimes, most of the time, and always, and created it as the frequencies. I want to go through and create the probability or find the probability of these occurring. Before we do that, we need the total number of students who were surveyed. So I'm going to take out my calculator and add up all of the students who were surveyed, all of the, and find out 4,176 was the total number of students surveyed. Now I'm going to go ahead and find the probability, remembering that the probability is the number of that occurrence divided by the total. Now there's two ways you can do this. We've talked about how to use the Windows calculator to do this, to enter your division, but you can also use, if you like, Excel to do this. So I want to show you the second way, just in case you want another option. You can turn Excel into a giant calculator by typing the equal sign, and then you can just click on what you'd like it to divide. That, the frequency for the never, divided by the total. This can be extremely convenient when you're working with large numbers that you don't want to type into a calculator. These aren't especially large, but it's still kind of nice to not have to type these really big numbers in. You can just click the ones you'd like it to divide. I'm using the slash key, which is near the question mark, same key, to represent division, and pressing enter when I'm done to tell Excel to do the calculations. Now you have a probability distribution. Now let's say you want to get really fancy and check your work. We remember that probability distributions must add up to 1. So we can check this by typing the equal sign, SUM, open parentheses, and then just clicking and holding while I drag over all of my probabilities. So I'm just doing a left click and a hold. Then I'm going to close my parentheses and hit enter. Oh look, it sums to 1. This is good news because I want them to sum to 1. Now when you do your work, you may either copy and paste this entire table over into Word, which is kind of nice because you don't have to worry about making any errors, or if you'd like, you may also type it in. Please feel free to round to 2 decimal places if you feel like you'd like to type them in yourself. The next question we're going to look at is, would you consider it unusual to find, sorry about the typo there, a student who rarely wears their seatbelt? Why? So I'm going to go up to the rarely portion of your attention to it, rarely. The probability is 0.067, or approximately 7%. So I'd say that's pretty rare. Less than 10% of students claim they rarely wear a seatbelt, so I'd probably say yes. The probability is fairly low. Now, if you had asked me if it was unusual for a student to always wear their seatbelt, well, I'd probably say no, because over 50% of students always wear their seatbelt, which is smart. So we can use the probabilities to determine how likely something is to happen. And now you've created a frequency distribution. You've created a probability distribution from a frequency distribution, and for this one we used Excel to help us out. You're welcome to use a standard calculator to do this as well. I just wanted to show you another tool you could have in your tool belt.